Oh my god, look at this patch. It's a fatty one because I can see it on... Oh my god, it's a fatty patch, isn't it? What? Champion bounties. We've overhauled the champion bounty system. Our primary goal is to make the bounties more intuitive. Champion bounties are now based off gold earned and lost as opposed to kill death streaks. Gold from champion-specific sources. Straven generation never contribute to champion bounties. Champion bounties are now accrued granularly. For example, it's now possible to have a bounty of +1 gold. Bounties will not display on the scoreboard unless they are at least 150 gold worth and update in further increments of 50. The shutdown announcement will display for any champion killed with at least 150 gold in their head. A positive bounty is bonus gold given to a champion's killer when slain. Positive bounties are no longer based upon kill streaks. They're no longer based upon your minion or monster kills relative to how the average is. Champions now accrue 1 bounty gold for every 4 gold earned from kills or assists. Shutdown gold does not increase the killer's positive bounty. Have they ruined the boss? When champions shut down, all bounties removed from the champion. As an exception, a champion with a bounty greater than 700 gold will carry over the remaining bounty into their next life. The first 100 bounty gold is not applied. For example, 400 gold worth of assists and kills will not give you a bounty, but the next 400 gold will set your bounty to +100 gold. When active, objective bounties will now devalue positive bounties for the losing team. This modifier starts at 10% reduction. Wait, so Baus is nerfed, right? Negative bounties. Negative bounty is a baseline devaluation of a champion's kill gold. Unlike positive, this is reduced value, is also factored into assist gold. Negative bounties are no longer based upon death streaks. Oh no. And they no longer reset from earning a single kill. Negative bounties no longer undo 1 death per assist. While in a negative state, base gold value is reduced by 1 gold for every 4 gold given to the killers on assisters' deaths. While in a negative state, base gold value is increased by 1 for every 4 gold earned from kills. The first 50 negative bounty gold is not applied. For example, a 300 gold death will set your base kill gold to -25. Not so Baus is fucked. Basically, the way it used to work was you die, you go down in gold worth all the time, right? I don't know what the exact number is. And then if you get a kill, you reset back instantly. It doesn't... Now what they've done is I think you're worth less, not per how many times you die, you're worth less based on how much gold you give over, I think, or you're behind. And then because... when you get a kill, it doesn't reset. You kind of get back in the game like that. So instead of falling behind, so basically instead of falling behind and instantly coming back to the game, you fall behind a lot slower and you become more useless slower, and you get back into you become more worth gold slower. You know what I'm saying? It's more of a V than it is a fucking check mark. Objective bounties. In addition to champion bounties, we're also changing objective bounties. While the champion bounty changes were in a large scope, I'm not going to read through all of this, but I'll be quicker. We expect objective bounties will occur slightly more often than they currently do and apply in more appropriate situations, but also pay out a bit less gold on average. Void grubs can now contribute to objective bounty. Experience differences contribute about 40% left. Gold difference contributes about 25% more. Turret and Drake differences are slightly more likely to contribute. So basically they've made objective bounties more likely, but worth less. Okay, sure. And there's a Teemo voice update. Aurelion Soul. Base health is down and E damage is down. Good. Fuck that champ. Azir. Health regen is up and attack damage is up. You got a bounty for 9 gold. Brand's mana regen is down, that hurts Brand's support, and his passive damage decreased, and his Q mana cost is increased. I'm not here to analyze what's OP and stuff. I just want to skip through it because I'm gonna play solo queue. I want to skip through the patch and see what's happening. Camille base health is down, W damage is down, E damage is down, R damage is down. Wow, Camille got fucking shot in the head or what? I also think this hurts Brand a lot in lane, and his passive damage going down hurts a lot too. Corki! Passive damage is increased by 5%! W damage is increased, R damage is oh my god, my Corki! Wait, my Corki's back. Wait, chat, my Corki's back. What patch are we on? Are we 14.21, chat? Is that this patch? It is, right? What the fuck? But its win rate went down. in high-low. Eh? Eh? It's because more people are playing and they're fucking boosted. Oh my god, he's an 80 Cowie now, isn't he? Oh shit. Ali's armor growth decreased. Fiddlestick's Q damage is down. Galio's mana is down. Yeah, fuck these champs. Good nerfs. Mana regen increase. E-charge. Retime reduced. What the fuck? Passive damage decreased. I thought Gwen was in a pretty bad state. I'm surprised they nerfed her. Someone told me that Gwen was in a shitty state. And she was like now a jungler. She's terrorizing low elo. Yeah, it was a high-low player that said it to me, but they said Gwen was not in a great state, but she was just good in jungle. What else? Hui damage, what's happening? QQ damage down and E cooldown increased. Yeah, I feel like Hui is quite an oppressive champ actually right now. Irelia Q cooldown, mana cost, and bonus to minions is reduced. Q damage is increased and Q cooldown reduction during R removed. That's quite a nice Q change. The bonus damage to minions is later on. I think you'll still one-shot the... All that matters with Irelia is that you can one-shot the range creeps. I think when you have Triforce, right? You can one-shot the range creeps. With Sheen. So I guess this minion damage doesn't matter too much. Or with Blade, sorry. I said Blade. I thought you went Sheen on this champ. Is it just Blade Rush? Even with the Blade nerfs? Look, I told you, Rat Boy went Triforce last week. The only person that went Triforce was Rat Boy. No one else built it. I guess you all just built Blade. But they nerfed Blade pretty hard now. Because now Blade only does... They didn't nerf the AD on it, which is pretty important, I guess. But it's 2% down on melee and 1% down on ranged, which hopefully hurts Yone a lot. What else? I wonder if Irelia win rate's going to go up now. I mean, it should, right? But if Irelia one trick's going to start playing it a lot more. Oftentimes, what one tricks do is they have secondary champs that they main. I.e., if you're a Yasuo OTP and Yasuo's weak, you play Yone and Camille. And if you're in a Kali OTP and a Kali's weak, they just play Sylas and Talon. They just cycle through champs depending on how OP they are. Kai'Sa passive damage decreased. Good, that passive was OP as fuck. Karthus R damage is increased by 5% AP scaling. Kassadin Q damage down, E damage down. Good. I just think Kassadin one trick should just be fucking automatically put in bronze from the start. W mana cost reduced from Kayle. Sure. Malphite's base health is up. I'm surprised Malphite hasn't been played with Worlds yet. Nasa's passive lifesteal reduced. What the fuck? They took 3% of lifesteal off him? What? They nerfed Nasus? Is he OP in low elo or some shit? I don't get it. They also reduced his Q damage by 5 base. Is this champ OP as fuck in low elo or some shit? It's a low elo stomper. Nila Q and R quality of life improvements. Nila's EQ combo missile now deals damage instantly in the area rather than when the missile hits the enemy. Nice. Nila's auto attack no longer cancels when her Q buff runs out. Nice. Nila's first auto attack coming out of her ultimate should no longer be slightly delayed. Okay, nice. Kiana health regeneration is increased by 2 and her W damage is up a little bit. It's 10% bonus AD up. I never knew Kiana W had AP scaling. What the fuck? Senna armor growth and armor is reduced. That hurts her lane fish a little bit. Severe base AD increase, Q damage increased. Oh, it's off bonus AD now instead of total AD. But they've upped the base damage by a shit ton. What? So early game it must be doing... Wait, actually I'm not sure how much early game, what the numbers are. But 60 flat with 100% bonus AD. Maybe her early is a bit better. Yeah, level 1 to 12, it's stronger. Oh, okay. For those who don't want to do the math, these Q changes represent a buff for levels 1 to 12. Okay, perfect. Swain changes. You should read this. It's a lot. Oh my god. Okay, I should probably read that because probably a lot of people are playing Swain right now. Swain is receiving a sweeping update aimed at making him much more consistent and giving him a more personal agency over his successes and his failures. I'll give you a TLDR after I've read it. He's receiving these to increase personal agency largely through significant buffs. Okay, let's go to the changes first. They've reduced his health regen a lot. They've given him a lot less mana, and they've given him a more mana regen. Okay. So that sounds like they're pushing him to be more of like a mage or some shit. I don't know. Let's see. His passive is now more linear. Instead of going 1, 6, 11, 16, it's 3 to 6. Okay. Death's Hand is his Q. The mana cost is down. 1 bolt damage. Okay, I'm just going to read this in my head. Looks like they're increasing his AP ratios and reducing the flat damage. Yeah, they're reducing flat damage on it all and giving it more AP ratios. Sure. Again, they're doing the same thing here. His early game is getting hit, but his scaling is getting better. The W is just nerfed overall by a shit ton, isn't it? Oh, okay, actually 50% slow is quite nice, and it reveals for longer. Sure. The slow duration's down, but it's doubled in slow, so okay. The E cooldown is up, the mana is up, but it travels faster early. What the fuck have they done to him? Have they just like flattened all his numbers? It sounds like they've increased the cooldown on mana of the E to make it more punishing if you miss, but they've made it easier to hit. By the sounds of it. Never Moves change is the most important in this patch. Its acceleration has been re-implemented with its modern missile tech, removing randomness from its travel time. Its return is now more consistent and substantially faster, providing stream with a much better access to crowd control. Its damage is also being shifted entirely into the explosion, which should make it better at damaging enemy champions. This increased and expected output per cast has necessitated nerfing its cooldown and its passive healing to compensate. Okay. Demonic Ascension. Demon Flare may repeatedly be cast every 8 seconds, unaffected by ability haste up to 100 times. Good luck. First cast is still available after 2 seconds. Is that like old Swain? Wait, what am I on about that? Huh? No, it's like you can explode multiple times, I guess, right? It's what it's saying. If you can keep your ult up. The cooldown after transform ends is 120 when transform begins. So basically, the cooldown starts when you use the beginning of it instead of after it finishes. The damage on the explosion is up by base and lower by scaling. What have they done to Swain? Overall, it just sounds like they've made him a much stronger scaling champ, and they've made the quality of life of Swain much better for like his animations and the way he interacts. Doesn't sound like they've changed his kit that much. The ult, basically the main changes by the sounds of it is like the W slow is more punishing, but it doesn't last as long. But the fact that you can reveal them for quite long is nice. Like 6 seconds reveal is quite nice early. The ult, if you can get more uptime, you'll get more rewarded with more uptime because you can explode multiple times every 8 seconds, right? So the first cast available after 2 seconds, so after 10 seconds you can recast and explode again. No longer displays root particles on targets killed by the explosion. Pass-through damage removed. It doesn't sound like... No, thank you so much. It doesn't sound like... Yeah, he has detonation damage now. It is insane, sorry. Detonation damage has gone up a lot. You can see this is the biggest thing of his E. The detonating damage, they've increased the flat damage and they've over doubled the scaling of it. I can't tell. His ult sounds like it's really strong now and his E sounds really strong, but his Q got hit a bit early. They've made him more into a battle mage who can wear down opposition, sustain himself, and still usually aid his cremates across the map. Okay. He just sounds weaker early and a lot stronger mid to late game. And he's just got a much easier time at hitting his spells. And he's more rewarded for hitting or having uptime. And he's more punished for not. Because, for example, right? Actually, the decaying slow is up. The damage per second on the ult is down. So, like, for example, the damage per second on his ult is down. But the damage on the explosion is up. And you can explode multiple times now. The healing is also scaling off bonus HP. I wonder what the math is there. If you build, I guess you have to, I mean on Swain you build things like Rylai's and shit, right? And I mean you can go to Leanderies instead of Deathfire Torch now. It's Rod, I don't know if Rod of Age is probably dog shit actually. But I don't know what the math is, but based on how much healing you get. Okay. Anyway, Talon's W damage is increased. Great. I hate Talon mains. W bonus armor is decreased. Sure. Base health increased. W movement speed increased. Sure. Teemo buffs. They gave him a VO. That's making meta. Makes sense. They reworked him, so they may as well buff him. It's not that big of a deal, I think. It's like 4% at max rank and 2% bonus. Base health is up, sure. I mean, I know Teemo jungle is a thing these days. Viego armor growth is decreased. Volibear E increased, sure. Saya W increased. W damage of Yone is down by 1% max health. Sure. But the blade nerfs hurt him the most. Pet damage of Yorick is up. That's actually a lot, no? Early. Sorcerer shoes are nerfed by 3. I mean, Lucidity boots can be the next option. And then Blade of the Rune King is nerfed by 2% melee. Recommended runes are changed. Lethal tempo, melee, attack speed per stack is up. Okay. Okay, that was a pretty big patch, but also not a big deal of a patch. Swain got reworked. I think the Corki buffs are really interesting, and the Camille nerfs are horrible. Brand nerfs seem horrible as well.